Good evening and welcome to Door on Tour. Tonight we're going to be talking about the number one talking point, I'm sure, for all Nottingham Forest fans, and that is the signing of Anthony Elanga. He signs for Manchester United for £15 million and signs a 5-year contract at the club. Exciting day, it's been certainly an exciting day. Looking at that new signing, I'm sure you've all seen the pictures and the videos that Forest have posted as well, which was really nice. I mean, it's nice to see a new signing smile, quite as much as Elanga does, and it really fills me with hope because the pressures of playing for Manchester United are a little bit different to Nottingham Forest, and our fan base are, while at times critical, very supportive, and I do think that Elanga is going to thrive. And he's in the right environment to do so. So let's hope so. But it's a real privilege to be able to talk about Elanga tonight. I'll be here for about half an hour, 45 minutes. And I hope you're all doing really well. If you're just joining in, make sure to drop a like and drop your comments. Let me know how you're feeling. And also share the video if you possibly can. It means a lot to us. Big Mark, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Hanny, I hope you're doing good. Mr. Door isn't here at the moment. He did a stream earlier. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about that in just a moment's time. Okay. Derek, watching Elanga's video on the website reminds me of it does. Yeah. Elanga's got a lot of promise. He's just really starting his journey. If we're being honest, he's already just starting it really. Premier League experience already, Champions League experience, Europa League experience. Elanga's got it all, and you know there's good reason to be proud of him. So Elanga, he's a good talent. And he's got a lot of potential. Peter, I hope you're doing good. I'm just as excited as you are. It's a brilliant signing. I think it's could have some leverage in the Henderson deal potentially as well, but we'll talk about that soon. Sebastian, evening. Hope you're doing well. I've just finished work. If I'm looking a bit messy, I'm sorry. It's my last shift before my 18th birthday on Thursday, so feeling pretty excited for that. It's going to be nice and fun. Mark, evening. I hope you're doing well, Mark. Good to see you. Game of 316. All well, thank you, my friend. I hope you're good too. It's a shame with Elanga coming in. Obviously, Sam leaves, and the deal that we've got is very lucrative. You know, it will be more than the 5 million, like significantly more than the £5 million we've actually sold him for as the initial fee. So it's a good deal for us, and we're going to have tripled by the end of it, maybe tripled or quadrupled the amount that we actually bought him for. So good business from Forest. And people give a lot of stick to Ross Wilson without actually realising that the Elanga deal came out of nowhere, essentially. The deal for Olaina came out of nowhere, essentially. There's been, other than the Elanga one where there's been a couple of leaks, it's been quite a sleek bit of business, really. Let's have it right. Ross Wilson and the transfer team at Forest have got deals done in quite a quick turnaround. I mean, nobody had heard of Olaina signing for Forest pretty much this season before it happened. So I think people jump on Ross Wilson a little bit too quick, but he's making backroom staff additions. He's, making changes on the pitch and off it. You've got to give him time. But so far, so good. But maybe now isn't the right time to cast our judgment. I don't know. Eve, I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Any news on Henderson? What I'm told is nothing's happening at the moment, and I don't mean to be miserable with that. I'm told that nothing is happening at the moment. That there could be movement with the Forest loan story, or I just don't know what format we're actually going to move with to sign Henderson, because obviously a loan deal was proposed, and whether Man United are going to accept that, given that we've now bought Elanga and given them 15 million, which will help towards their FFP. We'll have to wait and see. But United need to sell players. That's what they want to do if they're going to try and bring in a Højlund or any other player they try. Sure does. He looks like he gets on well with the team, and seeing him and Morgan Gibbs-White already have that chemistry was really nice. I hope Dennis Freuler and Shelby will be going soon too. I wish them all the best, and everyone will have their own opinion. But Freuler didn't work out with us, and Dennis and Shelby have their own individual things going on. I just wish them all the best if they do leave. Obviously, there's nothing yet, but if they do leave, then that's just it. We'll get to this in just a moment because I'm aware that this is a thing that's been circulating online. But just first, I just want to say a quick thing. Yesterday was, as I'm sure Dor touched on earlier, was a really difficult day for you all as Forest fans, and it was probably one of the most sad days in English football because we lost two genuinely lovely people, excellent footballers, but as I say, more importantly, just lovely people. Trevor Francis, I never got to witness Trevor Francis play, and unfortunately, I never got to meet him. But from what I'm told, he was just a lovely gentleman, and from what I can see on the videos, a legend of our club and someone that created the history that we so proudly sing about every weekend. If it wasn't for him, what would we have much to sing about? So it's a team effort always, but Trevor Francis was obviously very special, and grateful for his contributions to our football club, but also English football as a whole. And then, of course, later in the evening, we found out the news of Chris Bart-Williams, which was just destroying for many people that knew him really well. And one of those people was Dor. And I'm sure all of you will know that I'm really close with Dor, and I know how much it devastated him. So I just want to say, send my love to Dor. He knows this, and I just want to thank you all for your support of Dor as well, because obviously he's got to know him through doing this journey in YouTube, and he's always been a passionate Forest fan anyway, as Dor, and he got the privilege of meeting Chris Bart-Williams and become good friends with him since. And obviously yesterday's news was really, really hard hitting. And I've just seen the amount of love and support that you've given to him, and to people associated with Chris, and also to everyone in the fan base. It's been, despite all the negativity that you see, it's nice to see our fan base united and coming together for not only Trevor and Chris, but for those affected by their loss as well. And it was a really difficult day, and I just extend my thoughts and love to all those affected by it, as I say, including Dor. And his relationship with Chris was special, and I only got to see a glimpse of that when we were at the night at the William Gunn in West Bridgeford. I only got to see a glimpse of it, but just such a lovely person, and a real loss. So thank you for all your support of Dor, and sticking together as Forest fans, because it's been a tough period this last day or so, but it's nice to see how the fan base has come together and celebrated the lives of two really truly wonderful people who will never be forgotten. So just a thank you to, as Nick says, not just the footballing family, but also so not just the Forest family, but also the whole of the footballing family. It was a sad day, but it's good to see everybody come together and celebrate their lives. So so thank you. So we will talk now a little bit about what's happening at Forest today, what's been happening this morning. Obviously, we had the news of Anthony Elanga signing £15 million, 5-year deal. He's not quite the most expensive signing in Forest history, and he doesn't need to be, because he's going to be a star. And at the end of the day, Manchester United were unable to accommodate him, I would say, because to play for Manchester United now desires a different kind of player, because you don't just have to be physically strong. You don't just have to be a pacey player. You don't just have to have a great wand of a foot. You have to be mentally indestructible, essentially, to play for Manchester United. And everyone will have their own opinions, and this isn't going to be a bad take. I'm not going to do a Rory Jennings, but Harry Maguire is someone that, shows that it's so hard to play for Man United, because there is a good defender in Harry Maguire. I'm not even going to dispute it. But playing for Manchester United is a different kind of pressure. And for a young player like Anthony Elanga, while he's been at Manchester United since the age of 11, so a decade, it's a good time for him to move on. He's 21. He still doesn't need to be registered, which is another benefit of signing him for Forest. There's a club that genuinely needs someone of his caliber, and someone that can grow and mould into the player that Steve Cooper wants. And they need someone that's not on the biggest money per week, I'm sure. Someone that doesn't cost 20, 30 million or, that over the wages or whatever. They want someone that fit Anthony Elanga's profile. And obviously Callum Hudson-Odoi was a name that was mentioned a lot. And obviously his injury situation was a real concern for many fans. But now you've got Anthony Elanga, you kind of have less worry about that. If you do lose Dennis, maybe you need another left-sided player. But, Elanga is quite versatile. He's fast. He's young. He can score goals. He's played in the highest levels of European football on numerous occasions, scored lots of goals. He's got great role models. He's had great role models in Ibrahimovic and the various other players at Manchester United. Because regardless of your thoughts on Manchester United, there's some phenomenal talent in that squad. I mean, seriously, phenomenal. And as much as you might not like Bruno Fernandes, he's a brilliant midfielder and he's going to be a good captain for Man United. And I'm sure he will have passed on some, knowledge and advice to him along the many others that play for that team. Christian Eriksen's, your Varane's, although they might be different positions, they're giving him advice that's crucial to his footballing career and professional career. So the Elanga signing for me was always going to be, for me, good, because you're signing a player from Manchester United. Manchester United don't typically have bad players playing for them, and they certainly don't have bad players, at some point in their history getting into the Champions League and squads, etc., etc. So I'm not saying that Elanga is the perfect signing and that this is the best deal that Forest will do of the window, because there's still time in the window to go and we need a goalkeeper. And I think arguably the best deal that we will make is to sign a goalkeeper, because at the moment, with no disrespect to Ethan Horvath or Wayne Hennessy, who are two excellent professionals, we need a Premier League ready goalkeeper who isn't going to have the fans' hearts in their mouths when they're going to kick the ball or running out to stop a player in a 1v1. So you want a goalkeeper that you can rely on. You want a goalkeeper that knows the setup well. You want a goalkeeper that gets the team riled up and ready. And someone like Dean Henderson does that. So I hope we can get the Dean Henderson deal over the line. It would be really great to see because he's a good goalkeeper. And again, he's young in goalkeeping respects. He's 26. We can get him for under £20 million, or if we're going to loan him, then we'll buy him the season after. So we need to keep the core of the squad together. And yes, bringing Henderson would definitely do that. But there's other deals as well that I think would be great. I mean, another midfielder would be fantastic. Someone like Ibrahim Sangare, who I love. I think he's brilliant. Such a good player, real technicality, and he'd add so much to the midfield. Because at the moment, the thing is, Forest do have good CDMs. Mangala's a good CDM, if you can call him that. Yates is a good, defensive-minded midfielder. Yates has already talked about moving to that 8 role, and the thing I'm going to give to Ryan Yates is he knows that there's a lot of competition for his position now. Because if you're looking at midfield threes for next year, it's going to be competitive. And no matter how much you like Ryan Yates or love Ryan Yates, because I do as well, he knows now there's competition for his position. And rather than being quiet about it and, leaving it and hoping for the best, he's actively saying, I'm looking at adapting my game, improving my game, and advancing further in the ranks of this team. And that's what I really like about Ryan Yates, because he's a person that perseveres. He understands the challenge in front of him. And rather than just take a different path and avoid it, he heads straight on and just goes into it. And you've seen from the preseason games so far, I mean, fitness is always impeccable for me with Ryan Yates when he's fit. And his ball holding ability, and his passing abilities in preseason seem much more enhanced. They seem better. He seems a lot more comfortable on the ball. So, if Ryan Yates can move to a number 8 in the midfield and he can provide you that outlet that you need to the left and the right, and then also the defensive side, you could have a real good midfielder on your hands. But not one player in this team should feel comfortable in their position. They should always feel competition. And that's going to be tough because you have to bring players in to do that, and you have to build a good squad with good depth, and you have to spend a lot of money to do that. And that's something you build over time. But Forest are getting there slowly. And the signing of Olaina is good because whether he's a squad player or he's a first teamer, he's providing competition and he's providing a bit of quality. And that's what I like. And I like players that are desperate to play for this football team. Desperate to play. They'll do anything. They'll jump out of position like Jack Colback did. Look, Jack, I need you to move to left back. Yep, done it, Gaffer. Fine, okay. Let's do it. That kind of thing. And players adapting their game is just massive as well, because you look at Danilo when we signed him, first Bournemouth game, playing him more as a CDM. Now you look at him and he's going forward so well. It's, I love to see it. I just love to see the way that some of these players have dealt with the challenges handed to them. Various challenges, personal challenges, linguistic barriers, physical challenges, anything you throw at them, they've dealt with it really well. And that, the importance of a solid mentality in our team is going to be absolutely crucial next season. This next season is going to be tough. It's going to be really tough. Or should I say this season? It's going to be really tough. Second season, always difficult. But others have thrived in their second season. So why can't we? It's about having that belief. And as long as the players have that belief, then we should be okay. Yates will be coming up against Sangare on Sunday. Yeah, see, but this is it. We're going to get a glimpse of Sangare on Sunday. I'm going to be out there. Can't wait, by the way. I need some time off. I'm going to be out there. So I'm going on Saturday afternoon, flying from Stansted. So if any of you are going, let me know. It'd be great to see you and catch up. I turn 18 on Thursday, so I can say I'll have a beer with you. So if you are about in Eindhoven on Saturday, Sunday, Monday or Tuesday, let me know, because I'll be there. Really looking forward to visiting. I've not been to the Netherlands yet. And we'll be able to watch the game. Obviously not at the actual stadium, but we'll be able to watch the game via Forest TV or whatever streaming platform we can. So, yeah, let me know if you're going to Eindhoven. Exciting stuff indeed. Let's talk formations then, because Anthony Elanga does offer us the idea of being able to play on the left-hand side. But at the moment, personally, while there is talk of a 4-2-3-1, I don't know if we are strong enough, quality-wise, in the midfield to move to a 4-2-3-1. To only have the two, or if you count Morgan Gibbs-White, I would say the two in midfield. I don't personally know if we're strong enough to have just two in the midfield at the moment. And maybe that'll change because players do come back from pre-season and can be completely different players and can have improved their game significantly. And let me know what you guys think. Do you think Forest are strong enough for two in the midfield at the moment? Because 4-2-3-1 would be ideal. Elanga on the left, Johnson on the right, Gibbs-White in the middle, Awoniyi up front. And then at the moment, it would be Mangala and Danilo for me, or Yates and Danilo in the midfield. That would be interesting. But if you brought in someone like Sangare, what are you going to do? It's so hard to pick a first team, because in what position really, I can't even word it. It's just, it's just incredibly difficult, to be honest. I would not want to be Steve Cooper. I'm glad he doesn't have Twitter, because the amount of scrutiny he'll get is just crazy. But I'm just excited for Elanga coming. It gives us that option on the left-hand side. And, the thing I really liked was just that signing video where he wouldn't stop smiling. You know what I mean? It's his first club professionally outside of Manchester United. Other than the loan that he had. So to see him getting the move that he wants and to come and play with some players that I'm sure he's familiar with and has seen on social media, would be brilliant for him. So on a personal level, very happy for him. And on a fan level, even more so, because we're getting a good player. I'm not Dore, by the way. I'm Jay. Dore's not here at the moment. He's just, I think he's at work tonight. Or he might be relaxing. He needs to relax. It's been a bit of a week for Dore. So, sending my love to Dore and, appreciate you all tuning in tonight. and listening to me ramble on a little bit about Anthony Elanga and all the other things going on at Forest, because it's just so interesting, isn't it? I always love talking about it because often we get caught up in the negativity of the start of the transfer window. Oh, we signed no one. We need to sack this person, or we need to do this, and you hear it often, a bit too often. But, you know, a lot of things are being worked on behind the scenes that you just don't see. You just don't see it. Because I think it was Thursday or Friday? We went from having nobody to having Olaina and Elanga, he's having his medical, and we've still made a proposal to Man United for Dean Henderson. Not that anything's changed at the moment, but we're making moves to sign players. Ibrahim Sangare, he's not out of the conversation. Rick Elfrink, if you can follow him on Twitter, he's brilliant. He's a really good journalist and he covers PSV. Seriously, he knows his stuff. And if you're going to be, relying on anyone, obviously Daniel Taylor's obviously a given for us. John Percy, of course. But PSV journalist Rick Elfrink's brilliant. And he says we're still in the conversation with Sangare. Our reps have met his reps in Greece. Conversations have already been held. What's happened now, I don't know. But all I would say is Ross Wilson and his transfer team have kept other deals pretty quiet and have done a pretty good job at it. Why can't they do the same again? Let's hold out some hope. I think that Ibrahim Sangare is truly a special footballer. He's 25, I think. And he would be someone that if you added to our midfield, I think there's a potential for you to be able to move to 2 in midfield and play a 4-2-3-1. Because what Forest want to do now is they want to move into a modern Premier League established team. They don't want to be a team because although the counter-attacking worked in a way, at the end of the season, it did work because we're still here in the Premier League. How long can you sustain that for? 18% possession, 20% possession. Steve Cooper will know that that's not sustainable, and he's already said it's not how he wants to play. And people saying, but in pre-season, we're still not having possession. But then you look at the lineup in pre-season and realise, yeah, but that's not the lineup that are going to be facing Arsenal away in August. That's not the lineup that's going to be facing Sheffield United at home, And a lot of the guys that are going to be leaving are getting game time. A lot of the younger guys are getting game time. Josh Powell, for example. I just want to give a shout out to Josh Powell because this guy is I think 17 or 18. And he really is so far, he's been brilliant for Forest in pre-season. He's young, strong, he's fast, good going forward. I think there's real promise with him. Same with Aaron Donnelly. Obviously, he's gone on loan to Dundee now. Dale Taylor to Wickham. There's some good loan deals being made by Forest for youngsters. And, despite some of the criticism for Forest Academy in the last few months, you look now, they've actually made some good prospects there. And Josh Powell looks really good. George Shelby as well. Just some brilliant players. So ones to watch for the future, I think. It's a bit premature to say anything more than that at the moment, but why can't they come into the first team? Others have done it. Yates have done it. Yates went to every single tier of English football to get into the first team. If they persevere enough, I'm sure they can. Your teacher's son is Josh Powell. Nice. That's cool. 2 midfield. It will always be tough, I think, Mark, because I think we saw it against Man City. I think it was Man City where we only played 2 in midfield. Man City away earlier in the season. I can't remember. But we've tried 4-2-3-1. It doesn't typically work. But the thing for Forest was, against Liverpool away in particular, where we went kind of like 4 in midfield and it was almost a bit of a box kind of formation in the midfield. You're just loading personnel in there to try and break down play a little bit and get forward a bit quicker. And then just having that one man up front, all your distributions going to him. But the problem is, it kind of limits down what you can actually do. You know what I mean? You've not got any wingers there. You can't really run down the wings. You've just got one set way of putting it. That man up top, get it to him. And you're just chucking all your men in midfield. Whereas you want to be a little bit more free and have more options and being able to have wingers and just a couple in midfield spraying out balls and also breaking down the play and, going forward again. That's important. So 2 in the midfield will be tough. But, if you add quality there, like the likes of Sangare and, etc., then, then that'd be really good. Ras, Coop can't take Forest any further. Really? I don't agree. But, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. Obviously, your opinion on Sam Surridge is, I'm not going to even deny that I think Sam Surridge was treated unfairly. I don't know the situation behind his absences from Forest games on numerous occasions, but I don't really see what Andre Ayew did to get into the team more than Sam Surridge. But I don't watch them train 6 days a week, So, but I can't, I don't like to talk about last season because it's done now and we shouldn't really focus on that. But to think that that Andre Ayew got in over Sam Surridge on many occasions was, a little bit heartbreaking, to be honest. But your comment about Cooper can't take Forest any further, I don't agree. People said that he couldn't take us out of, people didn't even know who he was when he joined Forest. People said we couldn't go and get promoted. Bear in mind that season, any season in the future, people were saying we're going to be stuck here forever. We're going to be stuck in the Championship forever. Steve Cooper, it's a miracle if he gets us out of this situation. Bear in mind, promoted. So when you say Cooper was lucky or Cooper can't take Forest any further, I don't agree. Cooper has limitations just as every manager does. Look at the circumstances that were thrown his way last year. The third most injuries in the Premier League, 30 signings who had to gel into the squad and who he's got to train with. The amount of disruption we had through the technical directors leaving, etc. The injuries, as I mentioned, and just the pressures of being a Premier League manager anyway. Every manager has to have a bit of luck, but I think Steve Cooper created his own luck. And he didn't play how he wanted to, and it was sometimes the football a little bit lackluster at the end of the season, but it worked, and we needed that. And if you're going to say to me, okay, Forest are weeks away from getting relegated, would you play boring football and win games, or would you play exciting football and have a far less likelihood of winning games? Well, I'd take boring football every day. Every day. And at the end of the day, Cooper isn't immortal or invincible from criticism, because there is things that I don't agree with that he's done. Obviously, as I mentioned, Sam Surridge. But nobody's perfect. We're in the Premier League. He's kept us in the Premier League. And for that, I'm grateful. But 38 games, as Derek mentioned, 38 games. And he kept us up. Not by 1 point, not by 2 points, by quite a few points. I think we were 2 points off Bournemouth or a point off Bournemouth. And Gary O'Neill was a contender for manager of the season. Forest had the third most injuries. Look how many players were signed. He had to turn around a team that had, 5 or 6 loan players that got them promoted. He had to bring in a whole new squad. He had to build again. He had to build a new team again. And we stayed up. So no, I don't think that he was particularly lucky. 3-1 against Brighton wasn't lucky. 1-0 against Arsenal wasn't lucky. These games, they were important. When people said, Forest, look at those last games, I said it. Go into the game every week. And when you're doing your commentary, you talk about the next few games or the games before, and you talk often about what's next. And we talked about that last 5 or 6 games where you had Arsenal, you had your Liverpools, your Brentfords, etc., etc. And we spoke about the last fixtures. We said, God, if we can get 3 points here from anywhere, we'd take it. And we did. We got more than that. We got more than what we bargained for. We got more than what we expected. And, Cooper isn't on the field, so I can't give him all the credit, but he was a massive part in those victories, and that's important. The players, the mentality that he created within that team during that time was impressive. He galvanized a team that was so down, and all that I can imagine they were thinking about is this team being relegated and the press that was surrounding them and the people that were getting on their backs. And Steve Cooper said, hold on. Let's remember, there's still a chance. It's not over till it's over. And they embraced that. And that's why we're still here. So I'm sorry if I've gone a bit of a passionate rant, but yeah, I owe Steve Cooper a lot for my professional life and for, the opportunities that he's given me and many other content creators, but speaking as a fan and someone that can be critical, I can't say we were lucky. We created our own luck, and decisions that needed to be made were made, okay, very late on, but were made in the right amount of time and kept us up. So that's all I'll say. Last season is last season. Let's focus on now. Let's focus on the future. Let's focus on Forest staying in the Premier League 23-24 and beyond. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Let me know what you're thinking this evening, guys. Any questions you've got, I'd be more than happy to answer. We're going to keep the stream going until about maybe just about 10 past 11. And then it's my bedtime because tomorrow is my last day as a 17-year-old. Last day. Oh, I'm going to be an adult. So, yeah, let me know what you're thinking. I do apologise for the passionate rant, but Steve Cooper he's a special manager. And he's a good man. In fact, I'll tell you all a story. For the Arsenal game, we came out of the stadium and we saw Mikel Arteta, and there was a few fans giving him some crap, some Forest fans. And I was lucky enough to shake Mikel Arteta's hand and give him a bit of a hug and wish him all the best for the season. And it showed how much of a class manager Arteta is. And then Steve Cooper comes over and then just blows me away with just how he is. I get a hug from Steve Cooper. We walk into the press conference area. We all sit down. Press conference happens. And you can see this massive sigh of relief on Steve Cooper's face because he's just realised that after probably the most harrowing 9 to 10 months of his life, it's done. The dream, Premier League dream, it's alive. Still maintained. And he spoke about all the adversity and everything he's faced. And he said, look, this is unprecedented. Nobody's had this before. And it's true. And he wasn't being big-headed. He was being honest in the way that Steve Cooper is. He's being honest. But now he was saying it, and that's it. He said how he really felt. And, at the end of the press conference, he thanked those listening. And, he said he came round and he shook every journalist's hand in that room and thanked them before leaving. And you know what? I think for me, that meant a lot to me, and I know it meant a lot to others as well. But it's just testament to what a great person Steve Cooper is and how much he values people around the club. And it's not just the fans. It's not just the players that he, has the privilege of coaching every day or every week or whatever. It's, it's about how much he cares for every aspect of the club and everyone involved. It just says a lot about him as a person. It says a lot about him as a person. So, yeah, I mean, that just adds to the special human being I think that we've got in Steve Cooper above all. And I hope that this season is just as prosperous. Oh, Dore, look at that. He's saying happy birthday. It's bad luck if you say happy birthday just yet. Just wait till Thursday. It's all water at the moment, but who knows? Maybe beers. Once I sign this new contract with DoreOnTour, maybe I'll be able to afford a pint of lager for every stream. Who knows? Get James Garner back. Not for me. I think that that's happened now. He's playing as a right wing back the last couple of occasions. I think for England, or was it Everton? Played as a right wing back, interestingly. But Still a lot of promise with James Garner, but now I think we've moved on. But never say never. I don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. He's a good lad, James Garner. He's given a lot to this club, so you can't fault him for that. He's a nice guy. So yeah, good at set pieces as well. Good at set pieces. We need Henderson. Yes, we do. Hoping that the Henderson deal can get done in the next week or so. It'd be really great if it could just be done. But the way that this transfer recruitment strategy is going, you just don't know if Henderson could be announced tomorrow because it's kept under wraps. So as I'm told, there's nothing going on at the moment. We don't, there's nothing particularly concrete moving at the moment, but there could be, there could be some big movements over the next week or two. You just don't know. Just got to keep hoping it. Just got to keep hoping it. We should go Emil Smith-Rowe. I mean, I love Emil Smith-Rowe. I think he's a brilliant player. I can't see it happening, but yeah, him and Morgan Gibbs-White linking up would be fantastic. Yeah. Smith-Rowe is a serious baller, but I can't see it happening. Happy nearly birthday, Jay. Oh, thank you, Big Mark. Appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you. Not there yet. I'm excited. I can't wait. It's only 2 days away. Oh, that's exciting. Who will go on to achieve the most in their career? Morgan Gibbs-White, Johnson, or Danilo? Ooh. Do you know what? I'm going to be journalisty. I'm as Dor would say, he's going to call me a journo for this. Dor will, because he always does. I'm going to sit on the fence and say I don't know, because they're all very different, and it's hard to say who's going to go further because anything can happen in someone's career. So I think they're all going to go far. I think they're all going to go very far. If they're all not playing European football at some point in the next 5-6 years, then I'd be shocked. I'd definitely be shocked. So, but Danilo, I mean, his rise in such a small amount of time has been really impressive. But they're all going to be fantastic. They're all going to be brilliant. Tune our American goalkeeper like... Well, it depends on your perspective of this, because Luton didn't want to have him back. They opted for someone else. So, while yes, I think that, there's maybe an element last season, in the Championship where he did quite well, and then Samba came back into the team, and he, it was a bit hard done by at times. If the club don't think he's good enough for the Premier League, you've got to drop the sentiment. How can you have sentiment? Because I think Ethan Horvath's a great professional, but there's no sentiment in the Premier League. You need a Premier League standard goalkeeper. That's just how it is. And if someone doesn't step up to that, or doesn't, or someone doesn't believe that he's up to that standard, then that's how it is. That's football. Football's unforgiving. And that's the unfortunate side to it. There's us hoping, Derek. Let's hope he signs by the weekend. Imagine that. Sangare and Henderson on the same day. Goodness me. That'll be a really great birthday treat. I'm talking to you, Ross Wilson. If you can get Henderson over the line just before my birthday, or just after, that'd be great. Club has a physio, John Ferns, that's the name. Yeah, joined from Chelsea, didn't he? I'll say happy birthday to you on your birthday, Jason. It's my birthday on Thursday. It is. Me, you, and Gary Birtles share the same birthday, Eve. Me, you, and Gary Birtles. Gary Birtles is 67 on Thursday. I spoke to him last night, and we spoke about it, and he said, I said, you're an old git now, Gary. And he goes, oh, no. 67. What a legend, though. Gary Birtles, really nice guy. And 67 on Thursday. My goodness. Happy nearly birthday, Eve. Big Mart says. Lovely stuff. Now all I want is Hendo, Sangare, and Mavropanos. Yeah, if you can get Mavropanos, that'd be good as well. He's a young centre-back. Plays better in a back three. So if we are looking to go for that 2 in midfield, then maybe not going to have a back three. But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Mavropanos at all. He's Greek as well, so I'm sure that there's some way of connecting to him easier than others. Cooper's been stunning for the club. He's revitalised fans in the city. However, it'll be interesting to see how he goes about this season. Yeah, it's not going to be easy for Cooper this season. And, he's going to be on less time than he was last year in some respects with how lenient the aboves will be, I can imagine, because it's second season. You know, there's different ambitions to just staying up, maybe going a little bit further up. But you know, I think he's going to do excellently. I've got all the faith in the world that he'll do brilliantly. And Steve Cooper is going to be fantastic this season. All the faith in the world in him, and looking forward to seeing what he can do. 32, Eve? No way. No way. You don't look your age at all. No. Well, we'll see you at some point soon. If you're at a Forest game, let us know. And make sure to say happy birthday to Eve on Thursday. Sangare is the mustard. Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's very technical CDM. Great, great strength. Fantastic passing ability. I mean, he's just spraying out balls from the midfield, left, right, and centre. Good level of speed. It's good. And as Nick says, Forest is settled. Others are not. That's the advantage we have this season. So while other teams are building their team for their first Premier League campaign, Sheffield United, Luton, Burnley, Forest now have already got a team, and now they're just adding bits to it. So as long as the recruitment's good, and so far I've got to say it's been excellent, I think we'll be fine. I'm just going to close the stream in just a moment. So any dying questions you got, let me know. Thank you for joining tonight. As I say, I'm going to be away for a little bit. I might do a few little bits for Dore if he asks me. Dore, I'm asking you, do you want me to do some things for you in PSV? Some little match things, talking about the game or something along those lines would be quite good. As I say, if any of you are going to Eindhoven, drop us a comment in the live video, or if you are watching a little bit later on, I'll try and monitor the comments and answer some of your questions as well. If you're going to Eindhoven, it'd be great to see you there. But from me, 42 minutes went really quick. Thank you for joining. It's been a real good stream, I think. So appreciate you all tuning in. I'm really sorry it's late. I finished work at, I think, 10:15, so I ran home and got here and brushed my hair, sort of. So I hope you've all enjoyed the stream. It's been a real pleasure to be able to talk to you about these signings and also our brilliant club. And thank you for all your support. And I will see you all very soon. Take care, my friends, and thank you. I'll try and enjoy my birthday. I can't say I'll be on my phone very much, but I'm looking forward to speaking to you all in the very, very near future. But from me, that's all. Thank you all for listening. Take care. Goodbye.